In the quiet village of Olu, something very strange began to happen. People weren't getting sick, but they weren't the same either. They would eat, then suddenly act different. Smiles without joy, voices without spirit, eyes that looked straight through you. And it all started with just one bite of food. But don't worry, little one. This isn't just a scary story. Because someone brave was watching. Her name was Amara. Amara was just 18 years old. She loved to dream, to imagine, to help people. And her favorite place in the world had always been her auntie's little restaurant, the one filled with music, dancing, and delicious jollof rice. But now, the chairs were empty. The pots were cold, and the laughter was gone. Why? Because a woman named Mrs. Veronica had opened a brand new restaurant in town. And it was odd. She cooked huge amounts of food overnight, opened her doors before the sun rose at 4 a.m., and stayed open until almost midnight. But here's the strangest part. Every single person who ate there began to change. Grown men spent all their money eating in her restaurant. Children emptied their savings for a plate of her food. People rushed into her strange restaurant and ate wildly, spending all they have, and no matter the amount of the food, Amara noticed. She watched. And deep down, she knew something was very wrong. Now, let me ask you, my little listener, do you know or have you heard of a restaurant where people rushed for? What do you think is behind it? Let's know in the comments. Now, let's see what Amara did. That night, while the village slept, Amara followed Mrs. Veronica. She crept through the trees, down a winding path, all the way to the river. There, she watched as Mrs. Veronica stepped into a canoe and paddled silently into the darkness. Amara's heart beat faster, but she didn't run. She climbed into another canoe and followed. On the other side of the river was a lonely hill. The air was thick with silence. Amara hid behind a tree and peeked. Mrs. Veronica was there, standing before a giant pot, whispering strange words in a forgotten tongue. Suddenly, lightning, even though the sky was clear. And from the shadows, they came. Ghostly figures. Old souls, tired and bound, stirring a bubbling cauldron with heavy hands. They were the spirits of the dead, cooking food that could steal people's souls. Amara covered her mouth in shock. But then, she heard something. Mistress, remember, you must never taste the food. If you do, the spell will break, and all the souls will be set free. Amara's eyes lit up. She had found the secret. The very next morning, as the village gathered once more at Mrs. Veronica's restaurant, Amara stepped forward. Her voice was calm, but strong. Everyone says your food is the best in the world, she said. But I've never seen you eat it yourself. Are you saying it's not good enough for you? The crowd fell silent. Even the birds seemed to pause. Mrs. Veronica glared. I eat it all the time, she said sharply. Then take a bite. Amara smiled. Right now, in front of everyone. The sorceress hesitated. She remembered the spirit's warning, but her pride was louder than her fear. She took a bite. And in that very moment, eyes blinked open. People were shocked as they regained consciousness of themselves. The spell was broken. Mrs. Veronica shrieked and ran away, never to be seen again. And Amara, with nothing but her courage, her kindness, and her clever heart, she saved her village. But that, my dear, was only the beginning. Her legend is just starting, and next time, I'll tell you another mysterious problem Amara solved in the village. So tuck in tight, dream gentle dreams. Remember, bravery sometimes begins with just one question. This was a story from the legend of Amara. Subscribe for more magical midnight tales from Africa, stories filled with wonder, wisdom, and a little spark of magic. Good night, little legend.